Well, Lamar Jackson came back last night for the Ravens. Is it trick or treat for the Ravens and their fans? And what's going on with the Dolphins front office? I know it's going to make Dolphins fans scream. Probably because they're all mixed up. Jerry Jones made a comment yesterday that I sure is getting on the last nerves of some really angry Cowboys fans and probably some players. We're going to discuss all that. Plus, it's Pick'em Friday. Will my picks scare me? Or will they just load me with a lot of candy for the weekend, if you know what I mean? We're going to get into all that on a Halloween episode of the Sports Ozone. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you have a safe and fun night tonight. Kids, go ahead and let them get that candy, but be safe. Everybody, it's all about coming home and being safe tonight on the spooky night. Big O with the big mouth here in the Total Sports Zone. And let's get right into it. Last night, Lamar Jackson made his return after sitting out for the last 3 weeks. And the Ravens, I think they picked up where they left off when Lamar got hurt. They destroyed the Miami Dolphins in Miami 28-6. And you can tell it wasn't really that close. The score, it wasn't even closer than the score indicated. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson, he looked a little rusty, especially early. But as the game progressed, Lamar was Lamar. And he finished with a decent stat line. And you cannot complain with this stat line if you're a Ravens fan after seeing your head quarterback be out for the last 3 weeks with a hamstring problem. He was 18 for 23, very efficient, 78.3%, 204 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was only sacked twice with a QB rating of 143.2. Now, after sitting down almost a month, you cannot ask for more from number 8. He looked good, especially from the second quarter on. He was Lamar. He was making plays. He was keeping plays open with his legs, and the Ravens looked more efficient as the game, especially in the second half. The game just opened up. Seemed like the game opened up for him, for Derrick Henry, for Mark Andrews, who caught 2 touchdown passes, for everybody. Everybody. It looked like the Ravens that they have been for the last couple of years. So, my question is, with Lamar Jackson back, is the Ravens on the right track now to being a Super Bowl contender? Now, I know they played the Dolphins, and the Dolphins helped the Ravens out immensely last night with all kinds of penalties and turnovers. They just looked a mess. So, You really can't gauge the Ravens' defense, even though they created 3 turnovers. I really can't gauge the Ravens' defensive effort as last night, even though the last 2 weeks their defense has looked way better. They allowed only 16 points to the Bears, allowed only 6 points last night to the Dolphins. So last 2 games they've only given up a total of 22 points. So you can say that the Ravens defense is improving. But can I really say that their defense is on track to helping the Ravens become that Super Bowl contender a lot of people were saying they would be at the beginning of the season? I don't know. I need to see them play against some decent offenses. I need to see them play against the Steelers. The Steelers have a decent offense. Their defense is, but I need to see them play against them, and they're gonna have an opportunity. They play the Steelers twice in the second half of the season. That's what I need to see. I need to see even Joe Flacco and the Bengals. I need to see how their defense comes up against Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I can't really gauge it against the Dolphins. The Dolphins' offense is a mess. And it was a mess last night. I mean, you would think that the Dolphins, how they played against the Falcons, okay, a lot of Dolphins fans saying, well, maybe they're on the right track now. Who knows? No, they're not. No, they're not. That seemed like it was just an anomaly. Maybe the Dolphins played a little angry, maybe whatever. But they're still a mess. Tua Tagovailoa, 261 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. So he threw for all those yards, no touchdowns. Why? Drive-killing penalties and turnovers. That's what killed the Dolphins last night. Drive-killing penalties. You get a long pass. I saw one of them. A long pass. Now, this was a controversial penalty, in my opinion. They get a long pass, gets down into the red zone. But that play is nullified over a chop block, illegal block. Chop block below the knees. And then when you see the replay, it wasn't really a block. The running back for the Dolphins, number 31, he slipped. And he just happened to slip to his left when the Ravens defender was coming on him. And he went low. He had just slipped and fell. They called that an illegal chop block. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But that's what happens. That's what's happening with the Dolphins this year. It's like they can't catch a break. And when they do, they don't do nothing with that break. They didn't do anything with the breaks. Any breaks that the Ravens gave them last night, they only got 6 points out of the deal. Why? Drive-killing penalties and turnovers. So, yes, Lamar Jackson's presence is really going to bump up the Ravens offensively. Defensively, I know they've improved, but the jury's still out. Have they improved enough to go against the Ravens? I mean, the Bills, the Chiefs, even the Chargers in the AFC? Even the Steelers. That's the team they're trying to catch in the AFC North. Has their defense improved enough for that? I can't gauge it against the Miami Dolphins. I really can't. Hell, the Browns' defense looked good against the Miami Dolphins. So I really can't gauge it. But it has improved last 2 weeks. No doubt about that. And now with Lamar Jackson back, now he's got a game under his belt. He's got his groove, what they say, he got his groove back. Or it looks like he's on the way to getting his groove back. Ravens might be on the way to doing something. I don't know. But it looks like it. It looks like it. After their performance last night. you gotta watch out. You might want to keep if you're in the AFC, you know, the Steelers and the Colts and the Chiefs, Bills, all Chargers, all of them. You might want to keep one little eye cocked sideways to the Ravens, because I believe their season is not dead yet. You know, Lamar Jackson is an MVP type player, so their season is not dead yet. And Derrick Henry, all I'm saying about Derrick Henry is you just need to hang on to the ball. He had 119 yards last night on 18 carries. All he needs to do is just hang on to the ball. Get rid of that case of the yips. He does that. Lamar stays healthy. Ravens will be right where they need to be. I believe that. As much as I hate to say it, I believe that will be the case. As for the Dolphins, you know, there was I don't know if anybody knows it, but there's some breaking news this morning. Some breaking news happened this morning because I was watching it on ESPN, and the breaking news was that the Miami Dolphins and their general manager, Chris Grier, have parted ways. I was like, they fired the general manager, but not the head coach? Shouldn't Mike McDaniel be on the way out the door too? I mean, that's how I usually see it when if the general manager goes, the head coach got to go too. I mean, they're in tandem with this. General manager built the roster, head coach coaches the roster. If it ain't working, why the head coach still here? The general manager gone, but the head coach, Mike McDaniel, is still here. And sources say, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN, sources are saying that Mike McDaniel will be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins for the rest of the season. Huh? Then why the hell you fire the general manager? You might as well let both of them go down with the ship at the same time. Either let it slowly under the water until the boat claw completely under the water, or just torpedo that damn thing right now and send them both packing. I didn't understand that. Because usually when a head coach gets fired, the general manager is not too far behind. But this is like the other way around, weird stuff. It is Halloween. So weird things happen on Halloween, but come on. The general manager of the Miami Dolphins, they say part ways with the team. That usually tells to me you just got fired. Either and they're trying to make it smooth for the people, for the fans. No, you don't part ways. You get fired. And Chris Grier, let's just call it what it is. He got fired. He's been the general manager of the Dolphins since I believe 2016. What, 2 playoff appearances? So where's the head coach? Why is he still here? He should be gone too. And that's my opinion. If you're gonna fire a general manager, that head coach got to go too. Because I'm pretty sure whoever you get as the new general manager of the Miami Dolphins, I know he ain't gonna hang with Mike McDaniel. He's gonna want to get his own head coach in. He's gonna conduct his own interviews to see who he feels is best to coach this team in the future. So why is Mike McDaniel still the head coach? I don't know. Is it the quarterback, Tua? Is it just the injuries? They're laying blame or making excuses. I don't know. But what I say is that's all BS. It's all BS. It's all BS. There's no way in hell you fire the general manager and that head coach ain't walking out the door with him when you're 2-7. There's no freaking wait. That the damn head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, is still the head coach, but the general manager is gone. Somebody down there in Miami is doing some things ass backwards. And that's how I see it. It's all a mess. It's nothing but a total mess. And I'm pretty sure a lot of Dolphins fans, after they waylaid Atlanta last week, were thinking, okay, let's see where this goes. This might just be, they might just be on that up trajectory. No, hell no. Ravens put all the end in that, and that's why the general manager got fired, but not the head coach. Spooky stuff already on Halloween. What do you think? Drop a comment. Hit that like and subscribe button if you like what I'm talking about. I love to hear from you, and I appreciate your likes and subscribes. I appreciate them very much. But the Dolphins got some problems. Y'all know that. He got some problems. Big O with the big mouth in the Sports Zone. Let's move on. I heard this morning that Jerry Jones, the owner, president, and the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, made a comment to the Wall Street Journal yesterday that I'm pretty sure has pissed off not only Cowboys fans, but some players on that team as well. Quote, Jerry Jones made this quote to the Wall Street Journal yesterday. Quote, there's $100 billion present value, $100 billion present value with gas out there. That's why I'm talking to you on the telephone rather than trying to fix our defense with the Dallas Cowboys. End quote. Now, we all know Jerry Jones makes his money in oil and it's probably real estate. But you are the owner and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. You have an offense that can put up points with anybody. But you know, I know, and everybody knows your defense stinks. Stinks like hot garbage on a winter day when you're standing right next to it. And you can still smell it with the brisk wind. Why? I got no problem with him trying to make money. I mean, he's a self-made billionaire. Worth $16 billion. I understand that. We live in a free capitalist society, and if you got a chance to make money, go ahead and make that money. But damn, you know your Cowboys got a sorry-ass defense, and you make that comment? What's wrong with you, Jerry? I know you're getting old, but damn! But you make that kind of comment. You know your player is going to hear that, especially your $60 million quarterback. You're not, so it sounds like to him, to me too, and trust me, I'm not a big time Cowboys fan. I'm not. But damn, it sounds like to me, it probably sounds like to Dak and some other players, and I'm pretty sure it sounds like to most of the Cowboys nation, that you don't give a damn about this team right now. You could care less about fixing that defense. And the trade deadline, I believe, is next Tuesday. And all you need to do is get one impactful player on defense. And it could probably turn that defense to at least respectable. And that's all you would need. At least that's what I think. All you need is a defense that can at least get some stops when they need to. With that offense, you might just make the playoffs. Hell, you might just steal the division. Who knows? But you can make a comment like that. It's telling me, and I'm pretty sure it's telling Cowboys fans, you just don't give a damn. You don't care about that defense. I know you don't think this defense is going to fix itself on its own. We're in week 9 in the NFL season. If it wanted to fix itself, it would have did it at least 2-3 weeks ago. And it sounds like you don't care. Okay, make your millions, billions. Go ahead, do that. But you're also the general manager of this team. I'm thinking if you got other more pressing issues to deal with to try to make that money, this is why I think Jerry Jones should step aside as general manager. Let somebody else handle that business. Somebody younger, more in tune with the team, more in tune with the league, more in tune with the players and the wave and the ebbs and flows of free agency and this and that. Let somebody else handle that, Jerry. Because obviously what you've been doing and comments like this is the reason why the Cowboys ain't been to even the NFC Championship game in damn near 30 years. It's like it's like comments like this is like you're telling the world, hell, I don't care how bad that defense stinks, as long as I'm making that money. And let's face it, he's making that money. That's what intrigues me about Jerry Jones. Whether his team stinks or whether they Super Bowl contenders, he's gonna make that money. He gonna make that cheese. And it must be working. He's worth $16 million. Cowboys is the most expensive franchise in sports, $13 million. So he making that money. But goddamn, excuse my French. Damn. This is your team. Your team is trying to win. You got a prolific offense. Dak Prescott, C.D. Lamb, George Pickens, Ferguson. You got a team that can put up points against anybody. But the defense is a sieve, leaking in all areas. And you won't lift a finger as the general manager of this team? And you won't do a damn thing to try to fix it? And then you make comments like this? First of all, you should have kept that comment to yourself. I mean, if that's how you truly felt, you should have kept that comment to yourself. You didn't have to put that out there for everybody to read, because you know that's just going to piss off everybody. But then again, maybe that's what you want to do. Because even when you know the defense stinks and you know the Cowboys may not make the playoffs, you'll do and say anything to keep them relevant in the news. And he's done that. He's the master at doing that. Even when the Cowboys have stunk over the last 30 years, he keeps them relevant. You couldn't do that with the Browns. You couldn't do that with the Jaguars. You couldn't do that with the Arizona Cardinals. They stink. They stink. Who cares? Everybody know they stink. But most expensive franchise in sports, they stink. They still going to be relevant. Jerry Jones going to say something or do something to keep this team relevant, even when they stink on the field. And I ain't saying the Cowboys stink on the field, even though they're 3-4-1. But it's the 3-4-1. It ain't the offense's fault. It's the defense, and everybody knows it. And with Jerry Jones making comments like this, it's like he don't give a damn about that defense. Right now, that's what it sounds like to me. And what I'm saying, and unfortunately, you can't fire the GM because he is the GM. But what I'm saying is this, Jerry Jones, if you got more pressing issues with concerns of making that money, or we'll say or whatever, what have you, why don't you pass that general manager hat to somebody else? I wouldn't care if it was your son. who was the full-time general manager. I wouldn't care. As long as it ain't you. You can go make that money, sign them checks, do whatever. But let somebody else handle the business of trying to get this roster to a winning type. Both offense and defense. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know he's getting old and all this and that. But I think it's time. I think it's been past time. I've said this. I've said this to other fans. I've said this to everybody who listens. If Jerry Jones was just a general manager, not the owner, not the president, if he was just a general manager, his happy ass would have been fired about 10, 15 years ago, and you know it. And everybody who's watching and listening to this knows it. If he was the general manager, just the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, his ass would have been gone 10, 15 years ago. And we all know it. But can't fire yourself. At least his ego won't allow that. So I guess, what do you do as a Cowboys fan? What do you do as a Cowboys player? How do you accept this? How do you interpret this? How do you put this in its right perspective? I wish I knew. Another Halloween spooky situation. How do you fix this? How do you wrap your brain around the fact that your owner and general manager sounds like he don't give a damn about fixing the one part of this team that needs fixing bad? What do you think? Can the Cowboys rebound from that? Will Jerry Jones actually do something to fix this defense? And all he needs to get is one impact player. He has cap space. He has draft capital. One impact player on defense would fix this defense. And maybe, just maybe, make the Dallas Cowboys into a true playoff contender. But with quotes like that, I don't know if he's really worried about all that right now. What do you think? Hit me up with a comment and let me know, what do you think about that? Big O with the big mouth in the Total Sports Ozone. Now, it's Pick'em Friday. So, got to make my picks. I did really good in my college picks last week. I'm getting better in my NFL picks. My NFL picks are still shaky, but I'm hoping for treats rather than tricks for this Halloween weekend. So, here we go. I'm going to start with college football. As usual, I pick against the spread according to the odds from this morning from a certain sports book that I will not name. But I'm going with using the odds and the over-unders from this morning, as of this morning, to make my picks. I will pick from 5 games, the games I believe are the most intriguing for this weekend. Now, first game we're going to pick is number 9, Vanderbilt, going on the road against number 20, Texas. I told you yesterday, this is one of those games where Texas needs to win to keep themselves in the float, in the conversation in the college football playoff, and to keep themselves in the conversation from the SEC. They need this game. This game will put them right back in the mix if they can get this win in this weekend. Because they're playing the number 9 team in the country at home. It's going to be on national TV. But the question is, will Arch Manning be able to play? All indications are he's a game time decision. If he plays, of course, Texas has a better chance to win. But if he does not, I don't know. I don't see it because this Vanderbilt team is tough. They can play any way you want to play. If you want to play that 3 yards in a cloud of dust game, we can do that. If you want to play, let's air it out and give the fans an air show. They can do that. Diego Pavia is a legitimate Heisman Trophy contender. He didn't have the greatest game last week, but then again, he didn't need to. He didn't turn over the ball, and he made the plays he needed to make to beat Missouri. But this is going to be even tougher test because going on the road in Austin is not going to be easy. Right now, you got Texas favored by 2.5 with over under 46.5. I am going to go with the home team on this one. I believe Texas. I'm hoping Arch Manning plays. And if he plays, I believe Texas, because they're desperate. They cannot afford to lose another game. They cannot. And I believe they know it. I believe Steve Sarkisian is going to drill this in their heads and get them motivated with or without Arch Manning. But with Arch Manning, I believe they'll win this game without a problem. I truly believe that. But without Arch Manning, I still think they'll pull it out, but it might be closer than one might want to think if you're a Longhorns fan. I still think Texas will pull this game out. They came back from way back against Mississippi State. I mean, they were down 21 points in the fourth quarter. They came back and won that one. And that was on the road with them damn cowbells. So it's not out the realm of possibility that they might be mild hitting their stride. I'm gonna hope that's the case. Give me Texas minus 2.5. And I'm gonna go over on the over under 46.5. I believe this is gonna be a show. I truly believe this is gonna be a show. So tune in. That game is scheduled for noon Eastern. Next. Now, y'all probably going to wonder why am I picking this game? Because I'm a Buckeyes fan. That's why I'm picking. Penn State going to number 1, Ohio State. Ohio State's favored by 18.5 with an over-under 44.5. Now, normally this would be, I would think this sucker pick. Penn State always plays Ohio State close, whether they're having a good year or a bad year. And right now, let's face it, we all know Penn State is not having the greatest of years. They've lost 4 in a row, I believe. James Franklin's gone. And their starting quarterback is out. Aller is out for the season. So they're having a pretty rough year. Ohio State just humming along. Number 1 team. Best defense in the country. Julian Sands right there in the Heisman Trophy mix. 2 great receivers. Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith. They're just humming along, doing what they do. Win games and move on to the next. But this spread gets me. This spread of 18.5 worries me. I am tempted to take the Buckeyes and the 18.5. I'm tempted. Because Ohio State has beaten everybody except Texas by double digits. They've beaten everybody by 2 or more scores except Texas. Do I really think Ohio State is going to blow Penn State out the water? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be making excuses or apologizing because Penn State is having a bad year. And that's not the Ohio State's makeup. They out there, you in the way, move out the way. Next. That's how they play. And like I said before, if the game is over, if the game is 2 scores or more in Ohio State's favor by halftime. Game's over. Ain't coming that way. But can Penn State muster up any amount of offense to hang with the Buckeyes? And Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator of Penn State, who was the defensive coordinator of Ohio State last year, took the money and ran. Can he slow down a team that he knows? Can he slow them down? He can't slow down Northwestern. He couldn't slow down Northwestern. What makes you think you couldn't slow down Northwestern at home? What makes you think you slowing down the Buckeyes in Columbus? Just what? Because you think you know them? So like I said, I'm tempted to go with the Buckeyes and give them the 18.5 points. And my temptation says, hell yeah. I'll take the Buckeyes and I'll give them 25 points. I'll give them 25 points. We start this game in the third quarter. Buckeyes will win. That's how confident I am in the Ohio State Buckeyes. Give me the Buckeyes. Give them the 18.5, and I'll take the over. I'll take the over at 44.5. I even think I'm even going to be nice and say Penn State will score 2 touchdowns. I'm going to be nice. They're going to score 2 touchdowns, which is would be tied for the most touchdowns any team has scored on Ohio State in one game. Be tied with Illinois. They're still going to lose by at least 3 scores. Buckeyes minus 18.5. Over under, I'll take the over. That game is set for noon tomorrow, Eastern time. Number 3, my number 3 matchup for this weekend is going to be SMU at home against Miami, the Hurricanes, Miami. Miami is favored by 10.5. This game is in Dallas. So this is the first time Miami of Florida is playing outside of the state of Florida all season long. Their first true road game of the season. SMU, they know they can't afford to lose another game if they want to stay relevant in the ACC. I think their chances for the college football playoff have long since gone. But if they want to stay even within striking distance of the ACC, of trying to get to Charlotte in the ACC championship game, this is a game they need. And they got them at home. Number 10 team in the country. They got them at home. SMU has enough offense to hang with the Miami Hurricanes. I don't think they have enough defense to stop them. And if Carson Beck can hang on, take care of the ball, we know he had that anomaly against Louisville, throwing 4 interceptions. But if he can take care of the ball and get it to his playmakers, I believe they'll have enough offense to take out SMU in Dallas. However, I think this is going to be a very close game. So, I'm going to take Miami to win the game. However, I will take SMU to cover the 10.5. So, give me the SMU to cover. I'll take Miami to win the game, but I think SMU will cover the 10.5 point spread. Over under is 50.5. I will take the under on this one. So, my pick for that one, SMU to cover, Miami to win. SMU will cover the 10.5. That game is scheduled also for noon. Now, we got Georgia and Florida in what used to be called the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. This game is being played in Jacksonville, Florida, as it does every year. Now, Florida, coming off a bye week after they fired their coach, Billy Napier, is a 7.5 point underdog against Georgia. Over under 50.5. Now, my conventional wisdom tells me I should pick Georgia in this game. But this is also a rivalry game. And Florida has the new interim coach, and they've had a week to prepare. And to shake out the Billy Napier episode and get hyped up for what could be their last big game of the season. Let's face it, this is probably be the highest ranking team they're going to play all season long for the rest of the season. So this is like their bowl game. This is their bowl game right here. And I think they would love nothing more than to knock Georgia off their pedestal and you put Georgia in a little bit of hurt, a little bit of trouble. But not just the SEC, but also the college football playoff. Georgia's also already lost the game to Alabama. They can't, so they're not really in real danger as far as the college football playoff. But if they want to win the SEC, go to the SEC championship game, they need this game too. So this is a tough game to pick. I mean, you throw the records out on this. This is, like I said, rivalry games, you throw the records out. Records don't mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing to this. But I'm going to take Georgia. It's just, Georgia is that team. They talked about it on the radio. I listened to College Campus on Sirius XM, and they talked about Georgia. Georgia is that team that they just hang around and hang around. You got them down, but they hang around and they hang around and they hang around and they keep hanging around. And next thing you know, you look up, they winning. Next thing you know, you look up again, they done won. And you're like, how the hell they do that? That's Georgia this year. They just hang around and hang around and hang around and hang around. I'll say it one more time. And hang around. And next thing you know, they done pulled out the win. And you wonder, how in the hell did they do that? That's Georgia this year. And I believe Florida, they're going to come out hype. You know, they're going to come out hype. You want vigor and vitality. Yes. And they're going to let Georgia hang around. Hang around. And next thing you know, Georgia wins the game. I'll take Georgia minus the 7.5. Over under is 50. I'm going to go under. I don't think there's going to be a lot of explosive fireworks in this game. So I'll take the under on the 50.5. But I'll take Georgia and I'll lay the 7.5. Last game on the 5, Oklahoma on the road against Tennessee. If you listened to my podcast yesterday, I also said this Tennessee was another one of those teams that needed to win this game. That ain't changed. Oklahoma ranked 18th. Tennessee ranked 14th. Both these teams need to win, but Tennessee needs it bad. They already got 2 L's. They cannot afford to get a third L in the SEC. They get a third L, forget the college football playoff, forget the SEC. They will be going to one of those, thank you for playing, here's your constellation gift bowl. Like they lost on a game show or something. Tennessee needs this game. They got them at home. Going to be a large crowd. Night game. They're going to be pretty sure that crowd going to be jacked up. 102, 103,000 people in a night game at Neyland Stadium. Tennessee needs to go all out to get this win. Again, can't afford. They have no more margin for error. Oklahoma, they can afford to lose another game and they'll still be in the mix. But the question with me in Oklahoma is Latar's the quarterback. Latar, is his finger, thumb fully healed so he won't be making too many bad throws? We've noticed that with Oklahoma. I even noticed that with South Carolina. He made a few bad throws, but South Carolina is South Carolina. If Latar's fully back to being his early season Heisman Trophy in the conversation itself, Oklahoma will pull this game out. If he is not, I believe Tennessee will make enough plays on offense to win this game. It all depends on both of these teams' defenses. I'm going to have faith in the Vols. And I'm going to take the Vols this week minus the 3.5. Over under is 55.5. I'm going to go over on the 55.5. I believe the Vols are going to play desperate. They're going to play dangerous. They need this game, and I believe they're going to pull it out. So give me the Tennessee Vols minus the 3.5 over the Oklahoma Sooners. Those are my 5 picks in college football for Week 10. Now, let's move over to the NFL. I pick all the remaining NFL games for this weekend. We know there's some teams that are going to be on buys, so I ain't got to worry about them. And like I said on yesterday, my last rant yesterday, I'm so damn glad I ain't got to deal with the Browns. I ain't got to pick for or against the Browns because I ain't never picking for their asses again. I said that yesterday. I'm gonna say that today, and I'll say that for the rest of the time until they show me something. Ain't picking the Browns to cover, win, or anything. Damn that. So, with that being said, here are my picks for the NFL for Week 9. First up, we got the Atlanta Falcons on the road against the New England Patriots. This is a 1:00 game in New England. I had faith in the Falcons about 2 weeks ago. That faith is gone. It's gone. It's gone. You let the damn Miami Dolphins, with they no offense having selves, run over under our eye and through you in your house, and then you want me to think you got enough in you to go to New England and take care of the Patriots? I don't have no faith in you no more. I just don't. I'll take the New England Patriots minus the 5.5. Sorry. I don't have faith in the Falcons like that anymore. I did once. I don't anymore. They shook the faith out of me. They shook that faith out of me. They did. After that debacle at home against the Dolphins, they shook that faith. So I can't. I cannot, in all honestly, go with the Falcons on the road. They're okay at home. They're pitiful on the road. We've seen that. I'll take the New England Patriots. And Drake May is he's having an outstanding season. He really is. I mean, he keeps rolling the way he's rolling. You could put him up in the MVP conversation if they keep rolling the way they're rolling. He's got New England Patriots in first place in the AFC East. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And he's looking spectacular. He's making all kind of plays. And he's taking care of the ball. He's taking too many sacks. That's his problem. That's the only problem I do have with Drake May and the way the offense running. He's taking way too many sacks. That's the product of him holding on to the ball too long. But when he gets when he's on the flow, he is damn good. And he is really damn good. But when you got Stephon Diggs to throw the ball to, you're going to be damn good. You should be. And Drake May showing that. So I'm going to take the Patriots minus the 5.5 at home against the Falcons. I'm sorry, Atlanta. Y'all shook my faith. It's gone. You get blown out by the Dolphins at home. I ain't got no faith in you to go on New England. I just don't have that faith no more. It's gone. Gone. Sorry. Over under is 44.5. I'm gonna take the under on this one. I think the Falcons will probably score a touchdown, maybe 10 points, and that's it. So New England minus the 5.5. That is a 1:00 game again. Next, we have the Carolina Panthers at home on the road against the Green Bay Packers. This is a no-brainer. To me, it's a no-brainer. I know the spread is 13.5, but Green Bay just spanked Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. And not too many teams from the NFC come over and do that. Not too often. Green Bay's on the roll. Jordan Love, you got to give it up to him. I didn't think he could withstand that pressure playing in Pittsburgh, but he held up great. and had a great game. Now he's at home, probably chilly weather, against the Carolina Panthers, who, let's face it, they can beat weak teams. Carolina Panthers is one of those teams. They can beat weak teams, you know, teams that are superior to them. But the top tier teams in the AFC and the NFC, they have problems with. And I know Bryce Young didn't play. They had Andy Dalton. I don't know if he's going to be available. Bryce Young's going to be available this week or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Give me the Packers, and I'll lay the 13.5. Over under with a 43.5. I'm going to go over on this one. I think it's going to be a nice little scoring fest between these two teams. But I also think Michael Parsons is going to probably get 3 sacks. At least. He's going to get 3. I'm put me down for 3. I think he's going to get 3 sacks in this one. So I'll take the Packers minus 13.5. That is a 1 o'clock game. Next, Denver Broncos on the road against the Houston Texans. Now, as good, this is one of them lines that had me like, huh? As good as Denver Broncos have been playing, they're an underdog by 1.5 on the road against Houston. Did the odds makers have they seen the Broncos play? Do they know the Broncos have one of the better defenses in the NFL? That front line, that defensive front line of the Broncos is a beast. That Botelino, whatever his name is, he ain't no joke. He's not a joke. You got to account for him every play. And the secondary, hey, they might give up one big player there, but other than that, they'll lock you down. But with that pass rush that the Broncos have, CJ Stroud might be in for a rough day. No, this one I gotta go with Denver, and I'll take the 1.5. Yeah, I know Bo Nix he's steadily, he's not all that, but he makes enough plays. Plus, they have a great running game, and they make enough plays on offense. As long as Bo Nix takes care of the ball, I believe they'll beat the Texans rather easily in Houston. That's my belief, because they have a great defense. They do. So give me the Broncos plus the 1.5. I'll take the 1.5. I won't even need it. I'll take it though. Broncos plus the 1.5. I'll take the under on the over under of 48.5. That game's at 1 o'clock Eastern as well. Another 1 o'clock game. We got the LA Chargers going to Nashville to visit the Tennessee Titans. We got the Chargers favored by 9.5 with an over under of 43.5. This is too easy. The Titans is just awful. I mean, they awful on both sides of the ball. And I feel bad for Cam Moore. He walked into a mess. He just walked right headlong into what I think is a complete and utter mess. It's a mess. Fired the coach. They can't generate no points. They can't stop nobody. It's a mess in Nashville. And now you got the Chargers, Justin Herbert, and the game. It's gonna be too easy. Give me the Chargers in the 9.5. You can have the 9.5. They're gonna need it. I think they're gonna need the 9.5 just to be able to say they score points. Titans are just that awful. Over under is 43.5. I'll take the under. I don't think the Titans are going to score that many points, even though they're home. I just don't see that happening. Again, Chargers, and I'll lay the 9.5. They need it more than the Chargers do. That's a 1 o'clock game. Next, Chicago Bears heading to Cincinnati to take on the Bungles. Yes, I call them the Bungles. Bears favored by 2.5 with over under 50.5. Joe Flacco, I told you. I told y'all. I told you. All he needed was to go somewhere where he has receivers to throw the ball to. And that's what he got. The dumbass Browns traded him to Cincinnati, where they have 2 all-pro receivers in Lamar Chase and T. Higgins. You know how much Flacco and the Bengals have been averaging since he came on over? Just under 30 points a game. Just around 30, 31 points a game. Since he was traded to the Bengals. I told y'all that's all they needed. Somebody to throw him the ball. And that's all Flacco needed. Somebody to throw the ball to. He got not one, but 2. Don't forget the tight end. But he got 2 all-pro receivers to throw the ball to. And he been getting them the ball. And they've been scoring points. Oh, no, they spit the bit against the New York Jets. But that's defense fault. I don't think they're going to let that happen again 2 weeks in a row at home. So give me the Bengals, and I'll take the 2.5. With the over-under being 50.5, I'm going to take the under. No, I'll take the over on this one. Neither one of these team defenses are really eye-popping. So I think this will be another shootout. But this time the Bengals will pull out the shootout. Bengals plus the 2.5. Again, that's a 1 o'clock game. Next, we got the Indianapolis Colts, best team in the AFC at this point. Going on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got the Colts favored by 3 with an over-under 50.5. I'll take the Colts. And it ain't because I hate the Steelers, even though I hate the Steelers. I hate the Steelers. I do. But the Steelers defense is just wishy-washy at best. It is. Where you at, TJ1? Where you at, Haywood? Where y'all at? Ramsey. Where you at? When y'all show up, let me know. I might pick you. You know, I'm biased when it comes to my pick. Even though I hate the Steelers with a passion that is beyond realms that you would believe. When it comes to this is my show, and I'm biased. I have no favorites when it comes to this show. But when y'all show up, Pittsburgh defense, let me know. Until then, I'll take the Colts minus the 3, and I'll go under on the over-under 50.5. Let me know when you show up, Steelers defense. I'll pick you. And when you show up. That's a 1 o'clock game Eastern. Next, San Francisco on the road against the New York Giants. I would love to pick the Giants on this one, but with the injury to Cam Scatterboo, I can't. I know Jackson Dart he's an up-and-coming quarterback, no doubt about that. But the 49ers are just the 49ers. Even without Brock Purdy, they'd still make it work. With all the injuries they sustained, they still know how to make it work. Yes, they lost, but you best believe they are not going to lose 2 games in a row. I don't trust them to do that. So I'll give me the San Francisco 49ers minus the 2.5 with over under 48.5. I'll take the under. This was a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Next, we got an NFC North division matchup. The Minnesota Vikings going to the Detroit Lions. Detroit favored by 8.5 with over under 40.5. There's no way I could not pick the Detroit Lions, especially at home. There's no way I could not pick them. I don't care what the spread is. At home, they're just a well-oiled machine on offense. Well-oiled. I've said it many times in many of my other shows. The Detroit Lions have an offense where they can say, "How you want to lose?" Tell the other team, "How do you want to lose today? Do you want us to run the ball down your throat? Do you want us to throw it all over your head? How do you want us to beat you today?" That's the kind of offense Detroit has. And with that offense and Minnesota struggling on offense, When JJ McCarthy, if he comes back, will he save them? I don't know. He ain't gonna save them this week, no matter who the quarterback. Give me the Lions minus the 8.5. With the over under 48.5, I'm gonna take the over on this one. 1 o'clock game. Next, now we're getting to the 4 o'clock games. There's the New Orleans Saints heading to LA to take on the LA Rams. I don't even know why I'm picking this one, but I'm gonna pick this one quick. Rams, give them the 14.5. New Orleans Saints is the worst team in the league. Period. That's all we need to know. Worst team in the league. Can't score, can't defend. Worst team in the league. Take the Rams, 14.5. With an over 43.5, I'll take the under. I don't think the Saints are going to score too many points in this game. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff. Next, Jacksonville against the Las Vegas Raiders. We just heard this morning that Travis Hunter will be sitting out for a minimum of 4 games as he goes on IR with a knee injury that he suffered in practice. That pulls me back to thinking, I mean, these are not so great teams going at it. I was going to pick the Jaguars, but when I just heard this news with Travis Hunter, I got to go with the Raiders. Simply because they're at home. Give me the Raiders plus the 2.5. Over under 43.5. I'll take the under on this one. I believe the Raiders will find a way to pull this game out. Now that Travis Hunter is on the fence. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff. Now, probably the biggest game of the weekend in the NFL. You got the Kansas City Chiefs heading to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Patrick Mahomes against Josh Allen in Buffalo. Sportsline got the Chiefs favored by 1.5 with an over under 52.5. I don't know which way to go on this one. You got Josh Allen, MVP. You got Patrick Mahomes, who was a 3-time MVP and dueling. Both teams think they got the full complement on offense. Both their defenses. Which quarterback's gonna come out on top on this? I am going to go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win this game and let everybody know, hey, we still here. The AFC still goes through us. And you better know it. I think they're going to come in there with an attitude. I think they're going to come in there trying to show the world, hey, don't you forget about us. Don't you forget. We are the defending AFC champions. You want to get to the Super Bowl, you got to come see us. I think they're going to show that in this game. Give me the Chiefs and I'll lay the 1.5. Over under 52.5. I'm going to go under on this one. I'm going to take the under on the 52.5. But give me the Chiefs and the 1.5. That should be a damn good game. Hopefully it lives up to all the hype. I hope so. That game's at 4:30 on Sunday. Then you got the Sunday night game, the Seattle Seahawks heading to Washington to take on the Commanders. Seahawks are favored by 3 with over under 48.5. Seahawks, they just find ways to pull victories out, whether they're home or on the road. And they got, I think, the leading receiver in the NFC in Jackson Smith and Jigba. That boy's bad. That boy is I think he should be in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. If he can keep putting up the numbers he's been putting up, he should be in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. We're gonna find out though, that they're going cross country to take on the Washington Commanders, who need to pick up wins. They've been slipping lately. They need to be picking up some wins to keep pace in the NFC East. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks minus the 3. I think their offense is a little bit more prolific than Washington's. right at this point. Give me the Seahawks minus the 3, and I go under on the 48.5 or the over under. That game's at 8:25 Sunday night. The Sunday night football game. And then finally, to end week 9, we have the Arizona Cardinals coming to Big D, or technically Arlington, Texas, to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by 2.5 with over under 53.5. Kyler Murray is scheduled to play in this game after sitting out the last 2 weeks. What do I think? It's going to be a shootout. Neither team's defenses could stop a cold. Let's face it. Neither team's defense can stop a cold. I'm under the impression whoever has the ball last will probably win this game. And you heard my rant about Jerry Jones earlier today, and it looks like he doesn't want to do anything. So it's all going to be on the offense. It doesn't look like Jerry Jones wants to do anything about fixing the defense. So it's all going to be on Dak Prescott, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, and the rest of the Cowboys offense to carry this team for the rest of the season. That's what it sounds like. The only reason I'm going to pick the Cowboys is they're at home. At home, they tend to play a lot better than they do on the road. The defense even plays a little bit better than they do on the road. So I'll take the Cowboys in this one, and I'll give the 2.5. Over under 53.5. I will go under on the 53.5. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna take the over. Like I said, neither one of these teams' defenses could stop a cold or guard a door if they had the keys. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys though, only because they're at home. That game is scheduled for 8:15 Monday night. So this should be a good offensive game to watch. Yeah, probably will be. If you're expecting to see good defense in that game, you might want to watch a replay of a game on Sunday. And that's my picks for week 9 of the NFL season. So that'll do it today for the Total Sports Ozone. Big O with the big mouth. You guys have a great weekend. Again, be safe tonight. Halloween. Kids, get all the candy you can. Make sure your parents check that candy out before you eat it. And be safe. Get home safe. Be safe. And I'll see you Monday in the Total Sports Ozone. See ya.